Hey, welcome to Level Up. This video will be slightly different than all the others that we have on our channel because we got a request to show how our intro was made. And I have to be honest with you, it was originally made in After Effects. So I thought I would give it a try and recreate it or try to recreate it in PowerPoint. And actually, the intro that you saw at the beginning of this video, that was the one that I exported from PowerPoint. So if you haven't noticed any difference, then I achieved a goal. Today I'm going to show you what I did and how you can recreate that too. It's going to be a little bit more advanced. However, some parts of it, they're still quite basic, like animating this text. So hopefully each of you could find something interesting in it. In the bottom right corner of the video, you will see some labels popping up. Yellow labels present general shortcuts that I'm using, and the blue one present Alt key shortcuts. At the end of the video, you will see the list of shortcuts I use the most. I recorded the whole process of creating this file, so if you would like to see all the steps that I'm doing more precisely, you can always change the speed option on YouTube to display it slower. Before I started, I took 4 screenshots of the existing intro to create those key points and based on them my animation. Let's start. I'll move this photo to the side. I'm going to open selection pane to show you what I'm creating, and I'm going to also name the objects so it will be easier for you to track it from slide to slide. I'm creating 2 boxes with a gradient inside to represent those 2 shapes that will appear at the beginning of the animation. And just adjust it a little bit. Let's make it wider and shorter, and then we have to find this good angle. I'm going to copy this box to create some other small bars and bigger bar that will move to the right and hover over this gradient orange bar on the bottom to create this cool effect that technically this orange bar is changing into sliced one. Now it's time to create the text level. And I'm going to use Fragment Tool to convert the text into shapes. We covered it in the different videos, so check it out if you would like to learn more about this technique. Why I convert it to shapes? It's much easier to morph it when it's a shape instead of a text. You have more control over it. I make this box and it's going to be white, and later on it will change into this dark orange bar and I will animate it. So here you can see the trapezium that I added the 3D effect. On the first slide it will be in perspective front, then on the next one we will adjust it so it will be like falling, like the perspective will be visible then. Okay, the white box will just disappear from one side to another to have this white transition. Like I said, I will name all of those objects, even though usually I don't name all of them, maybe some that I want to track from slide to slide, but I thought it would be helpful to just know what objects are animated and formatted. One more thing, make sure your guides are visible. Those are the orange lines that you see on the screen. It will help you align objects better. Go to View tab and click Guides or use the shortcut that we show on the screen. Okay, I duplicate the slide, Control D, and now I'm modifying the perspective. So technically it looks like it disappeared, but it will be visible during the slideshow. Let's move it up. I will just adjust it so then it fits the slide perfectly. I will group those letters to resize them and move them around, but don't forget later to ungroup them because if not, Morph would not know what to do. Now I will copy this text and align it perfectly with the other one. I will also copy paste the formatting of the lower box and adjust the color a little bit. Let's group it again and send it to back. That will help us create this effect when the dark orange bar will be moving to the right and the color of the letter will change with that movement. Now it's time for the bottom bar, and we will reshape it by using edit points, and we create a video about it if you would like to check it out. However, by using this technique, make sure you edit point at least slightly on both objects that you want to morph. If not, PowerPoint would not recognize it as the same object. Let's turn the visibility of all objects because we want to apply Morph to test it out. And also later on, because we will duplicate the slides, it's good to have it applied already. Looks good. Here on the right, I just created a white box that will help me achieve some other animations. So it's like a helper bar. We need a lot of those, unfortunately. Great. In the middle of the animation, there was a line that was actually just edge of trapezium, but unfortunately when we moved the trapezium, put it flat, it disappeared, so we had to add it again. And like I said, don't forget to apply animation to all new objects that you have on the slide, so then Morph will not get crazy. Line, change the animation to play with previous and organize it a little bit. I duplicate it, Control D, delete the animations from the previous slide. Okay, so now I'm gonna move those white boxes on top of it. So see, we get this nice effect that this colored bar was cut into those small lines, but we would have to animate those small lines. So I will actually use those two shapes and use again the Fragment Tool to just have those cut options, and so then we can animate them more. So I will move them up because those lines go to the right and then up. And add animation. It looks exactly the same, but this is like a small trick. This bar goes to the right with the line and this small white box that I created first. Exactly, and changes to this bar and it moves to the right. Nice. The white letters, we want to delete them. They will be not any longer on this slide. And that actually uncovered the level up in the grading color. Now I will make this white bar that will cover top part of the page, so then we can hide underneath it some objects. For example, this orange big rectangle on the bottom that will go up, I wanted it to be invisible. Now after watching this video, I realized that I could have just applied disappear animation to the bottom orange rectangle, and that would help me save few steps. However, you know, we learn something every day, so it's just a cool tip for the next time. Now I'm making the word up, and we will use the same technique. We'll convert it to shapes by using Fragment Tool. And I will just adjust the size a little bit. The font that I'm using is called Slate Pro, but you of course can use any other font that you want. So type the text, then create an object on top of it, select both, and use Merge Shape Fragment Tool. Now I'm going to change the shape fill to white, but later on I will even select no fill for the exclamation mark, so it will be just blended in with the background and become invisible. The exclamation mark is on the bottom, so then it will go up together with this orange lines. Don't forget to apply animation to all the new objects that you create. And I made small mistake here, and we will cover all those things later on and fix all the errors together. Now I create few white bars that will help us with our animation. The white bar on top of up will slow down revealing word up from one side to another, and the one on top will be the one where this orange lines will hide underneath. Now create 11 lines that will go from the bottom to the top of the slide to help add this nice effect while the word up is revealing. I'll apply different width to all of those bars, and you can see it in the window where I'm typing it in. So if you would like to create exactly the same thing, you can just follow along. However, later on I also adjusted the height a little bit more to make sure they're all different, and the whole effect looks more random and natural. To select the next object without using your mouse, you can just press Alt key and the arrow to the right or left or any other direction to go to the next object. This process may look a little bit boring or even like an overdo, but I really wanted to get this nice effect with the lines going up. And here I will show you a small preview of what I'm trying to achieve. You see the lines going up and uncovering the word up. That's one of the ways I found out, and it works pretty well, so hopefully you like the result. I left a gap between two blocks of those lines because that's the distance between letter U and P, and now I'll change the color to white and apply animation, of course. Now it's time to duplicate the slide and delete the animation from the previous slide. We will move orange lines to the top line. Perfect, make sure it's outside of the slide. The white box from above the up will also move up to reveal those two letters. And I will just copy paste the formatting of it to the other letters. orange lines will go underneath this small white bar, and I will just make it shorter so it would change the length. Let's align other objects. Where's that dot? Okay. And let's change the color. The dot will have more solid color. There's still tiny gradient, but it looks pretty solid. Now we have to move those white lines from the bottom to the top of the slide. Hold shift to keep the same alignment and just make them shorter. We will get two effects. They will go up and also they will change the shape, which is cool. Optionally, you could apply different colors to them and then also hide them underneath the new bars to get even cooler effect. Don't forget about those orange lines that right now are hidden underneath the white bar and they're pretty small. First of all, it should not cover up the letters, and later on I would also make it disappear because I don't need it after the morphing. Now it's time to create PowerPoint text that will be swinging from underneath word level. To achieve this effect, we will apply some 3D rotation to it. But one important thing, with 3D rotation, PowerPoint just finds the middle point of the object and rotates everything around it. That's why I will use one trick. I will create a box that is exactly the same size as the text box and place it on top and then group it and just apply no fill. So I move that pivot point to be right above the text, and that would help us achieve this nice swinging effect. Let's take a look. I place it underneath, just adjust the size of the text. The text box will be longer, but the height of both boxes is still the same, so we're good. Now it's time to apply 3D rotation, and let's change the Y rotation to 270, so then it will be flat, it will just disappear, and I will just name it so it'll be easier to track, and make sure you apply the animation. Great, let's duplicate the slide, and here I would delete the old animation and also delete some boxes that we don't need anymore. Then select our PowerPoint text and change it to, so first I typed 25, which is correct, you can leave it like this. Later on I changed it again, but I think I will come back to 25 degrees later. Then duplicate it again and adjust to 0. Great, so that part is done. And now it's time to create the last piece by Presentation Studio text. We will need 4 shapes in total, but first I will create a text box and format it, and when it's done I will just copy it. We will need another version of it. Now create a rectangle on top of it that perfectly matches the size and change the color to black. Paste back the text box and align it with other objects, then change the color of it to yellow. I will make it slightly brighter. Great. Last object will be a rectangle on top of all of those in a white color just to mask them. We will also apply animation up here first and then select only white box and apply additional animation motion path to the right. Adjust the endpoint so then everything will be uncovered and set up duration to 0.5. Play after and remove smooth in and out. The next animation will be applied to the yellow text. Let's name them to make it slightly easier for you, but the yellow text has this nice bounce effect while the white box is moving to the right. So I will apply animation motion path to the left and adjust the endpoint slightly more. So make sure it's to the left, like I said, and then change the green point and the red point. Nice. I would change to the animation to play with previous and change duration to 0.5 and delay to 0.1. Right click, effect options, make sure there is no smooth start and end, and I also added this bounce end 0.09. Last step, select the yellow text and the black bar and apply wipe exit animation to the right. Also make sure all animations are playing automatically. Change the animation to play with previous. Okay, last step, we have to check morph transition if everything is well. Speed up, so this one I would adjust 0.75, this will be 0.5 duration, and the last one 0.25 after 3 seconds. Let's check it out. Okay, Ooh, upper right corner wrong, and the PowerPoint didn't swing well. Let's fix it up. First, I will check which boxes didn't have applied animation. So I applied disappear animation to that box and then delete it from the following slides. And PowerPoint Word, let's go to this slide. I will adjust it back. Remember the rotation to 25 degrees. Okay, let's see it again. Okay, upper right corner is so wrong while PowerPoint swings well. So on the second slide and third slide, I'm checking the boxes, and here you will see one box didn't have applied appear animation. And it's this one, so let's apply it and with previous. Okay, should work now. Let's check. Yay, we made it! That was really exciting. It was the first time I created a video in this style when I'm presenting all the steps through the process. And I hope you liked it. Please leave the comment below, and if you'd like to see more videos like this, let us know and subscribe to our channel. Here you can find a list of shortcuts that I was using while creating this video. If you would like to get this quick access toolbar, you can download it from our Dropbox, the link in the description below. Thank you once again, guys, and hope to see you next time.